All right, in the top right of the map, our Protoss player is Jaeyun. And in the bottom right, we have Sziky. Going back to Butter here, this is where we had that insane epic macro game. What was it? 35 minutes. Where Jaeyun did end up falling to Sziky, as everyone has. But yeah, that's... I hope we can get another game like that. Like, obviously, if Jaeyun doesn't win here, he is unfortunately going home with 0 prize money from this Ascension. Hope that he can take a map. And maybe even a couple. We'll see. You know, obviously that last PVZ has to be leaving him feeling a little bit sour. You know, he just got killed immediately by Zerglings that ran, and his cannons were not perfectly timed out on Paradiso. I'm sure his timings on Butter will be a little bit better. This looks like it's going to be a gateway expansion. It doesn't have to be, though. It could be Forge, because he did... Yeah, if this turns around and goes to Minerals, it means it's Forge. Yeah, he does have a build where he doesn't scout with the Forge. He just waits a long time and then adds the Forge. But, yeah, basically if you see Pile and then Scout, it definitely means Forge. And otherwise, if the probe stays at home, a lot of times that just means Gateway. Either way, it looks like Sziky going to go ahead and take his natural expansion here. Forge on the way, as well as the probe coming down to Scout. Hope that you guys are enjoying Ascension. Yeah, big thanks to all the players for playing and everyone who has supported. If you'd like to support, go ahead and use the command Ascension. And check it out. Now, the probe coming down, he's just going to scout it, see that that's a hatchery first, so no worries. He can make his Nexus first without any problem this game. Throws down that Nexus, and, you know, in fact, he can even get a gateway before he starts his cannon. You know, this is kind of a nice situation for Jaeyun in some ways. One thing to mention, right? Because, like, obviously you would prefer to have a Nexus first, or, you know, possibly put on pressure with Zealots, things like that. Butter is kind of is slightly longer rush distance from natural to natural than some of our other maps. So you do see Forge Fast expansion here a little bit more often. It's something that I feel like is hidden in Brood War from people that just watch and don't play like really super a lot. Is the distances between things dictate so much more than what you would think they do. It's like one of the biggest determining factors in the game about everything is how long it takes to travel from one place to another. When I say it out loud like that, you may think, oh yeah, no, of course that makes sense. But honestly, if you're playing and stuff, you're like, why don't more people go Gateway expand here? It's like, well, because the Zealot takes a little bit longer to run across the map, so it's not as good. Right? So yeah, it's just kind of a funny little thing that's super existent within StarCraft. Now the layer is coming up, a very quick layer here from Sziky. Not sure what we're going to be seeing. Like, could this be the 2-hatch Muta? 2-hatch Muta, you know, generally thought of as a Zerg vs. Terran build, actually has risen up a little tiny bit in Zerg vs. Protoss. We've seen it some. And I actually know this. Jaeyun actually told me about that. that is a thing. That some people go for the 2-hatch Mutalisk. You have to be very careful against it. Oh! Hydralisk Den. Okay, so maybe not what I was thinking there. Could be like a drop? I don't know. Let's see. But he is getting the Stargate right away. You know, obviously Jaeyun was able to scout that it was 2-hatch layer. So he's probably thinking Mutalisks, which means he wants to get Corsairs out immediately. But it looks like this is actually a Lurker opening. Okay, so there is like this hilarious all-in type of move where you have Speedlings and Lurkers and maybe a couple Hydras. And what you do is you attack the wall and... Oh my god. Well, I don't really need to explain anything, I guess, because there's this many Speedlings in the base. Jaeyun in more than a little bit of trouble here. Oh, man. The Zealot gonna fall almost immediately. Sad game here. Last couple games, in fact, for our Jaeyun. He's had a few shots. to try to make good on those lost macro games, but unfortunately, like, this is so much damage, guys. Even if he doesn't kill anything else with these lings, the amount of lost mining time is so significant. Man. Look at this. Turns around. Gonna jump on some of these probes. It's good zoning here from Jaeyun. Like, notice how he's sweeping back and forth trying to trap them. Oh, almost. He's doing a very good job of it. It's just, it's a terrible spot to be in. Oh my god, he unpowers the pylon. That means 2 cannons that are warping in just won't be powered. Guys, this is so unbelievably brutal. Anyways, the thing I was talking about before, you run your lurkers up and you burrow them in range of the cannons, and then you just kill the cannons with the lurkers. And your opponent is like flying around with a Corsair completely sad. He's gonna jump onto the cannon now. I mean, it's not even blocked, so he just runs in. That's gonna be game. GG. These games are getting a little bit quick right now. Take a look at the score. Oof. Sziky showing some serious dominance here. Let's go. In the bottom left of game number 8, we have TerrOr. In the top left, we have Sziky. So, Sziky has been dominating. He's 6-0 right now. TerrOr does have a single win against Jaeyun. And so that's good. That's something, right? Like, at least he's going to go home with some prize money. Maybe more if he can take down Sziky. And yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know what build he's going to do. I don't know what strategy. By the way, it looks like the map is going to be polypoid, as you see. Now, unfortunately for TerrOr, I will say this. Positionally, he's at a disadvantage here. Polypoid is kind of a funny map because it's a very good map, but positionally some things can occur that are painful. Like if Zerg is behind your natural, and I would say that is especially the natural in the bottom right, and especially the natural in the bottom left. Those two, it's incredibly hard to defend your natural expansion from Mutalisks. So, well, we don't know what opener TerrOr is going to do, right? Like if he does a Goliath opener, a Valkyrie opener, or something like that, then we don't have to worry as much about the Mutalisk Craftsman. But if he tries to do any sort of Barracks expansion opener, then that could actually be something that ends up deciding the game. And I'll show you more of that when they actually get their expansions down. But there are some positional imbalances that can occur on Polypoid. Now, Sziky going with that hatchery first. No big surprise there. Drone scout coming out. TerrOr SCV scouting. Going across the map here. Kind of a reverse scout from what is more normal. Go down and check out this natural. Nothing there. Should be thrown down a second depot then. And there it is. All right, pretty standard 2 hatchery timing. SCV comes out and he sees that Overlord, so now he knows, okay, you're in the top left. Kind of interesting scout patterns from TerrOr. He definitely, he really does play very differently from most Terrans. All right, so that layer should be starting relatively soon here in just a few seconds. And there it is, that 253, 254 layer that we saw before from Sziky, so pretty standard stuff. SCD comes in, going to take a couple hits from that drone. Kakaru just visiting. And yeah, let's see if he's going to go for that triple depot play again. Maybe he'll put a depot out here. Yeah, there it is. Kind kind of a funny depot, though. You don't have a great place for a bunker when you put this depot here. Down here, it's 2 out of the way. Up here, it's easily surroundable, but maybe okay. It's definitely okay if they don't go massling, but massling could kill you. Here, it doesn't really guard the bunker, the depot very well. Here, blocks everything from circulation. So, that depot, I don't know. It's... The bottom left, natural in particular, this is a very hard one to defend against Zerglings and against Mutas. So you can put turrets here, maybe here, here, here. But you basically can't repair anything you're doing with turrets on this location. So since Sziky can rally directly down to like this location, then just work on the turrets nonstop, that's why I was talking before, guys, about how this position, when Zerg spawns here, is a little bit tough for Terran. And again, we'll see if Sziky ends up doing that. I'd imagine that he will. It is an engineering bay rush, a +1, 4 racks most likely coming in here for TerrOr. Spire coming up for Sziky. Really nothing out of the ordinary right now. SCV's still running around, so that's one thing TerrOr's done fantastically, is keeping some sort of scout on the map. But now that speed is done, he's going to lose this before he can really get any intel from the natural expansion. Should be seeing some more barracks added pretty quickly here. Sziky just with a little scouting with those speedlings. And he decides to take another natural. So when you see someone take a natural like this, first off, it's cross spawn from where Terran's at, so it's incredibly hard to stop this. But also just by securing this base, you secure a 4th. So, very strong way to play. I honestly think more Zergs should do that. But good to see Sziky doing it here. So, here's those 4 racks that we were kind of waiting for. And there's the scan. He sees the timing of those Mutalisks pretty much exactly. And he'll have to get those turrets started. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting to see if Sziky does do what I was talking about with abusing these turrets. So notice how TerrOr is building them as far into his mineral line as he can. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, actually, he sacrificed a few lings here just to kill the SCV on that turret. Notice how hard it is for him to actually get this remade. See this? See that? You have to walk it all the way around. So, like, he told it to build, and then look at this. See that? See what's happening here? This spot has no good circulation. Like, this can't be repaired. It can't be built from over here. You have to walk all the way around. You have to walk all the way around to do anything else over here. Right? If he puts these any closer to the edge, they just die right away. It's kind of crazy. But let's see what Sziky does with these mutas. Now, he's got 7. Good number. 4x for TerrOr here. He's going to want to macro, like, really regularly, get a lot out as range finishes. That's really what we're waiting on here, right? Is range and +1. Range a little bit slow, it feels like, but +1, very, very quick. When range and +1 are both done and you have about 20 mutas, 20 Marines, you have critical mass at that point. Zerg can't really, unless they whittle you down a lot, they can't really engage you at that moment, if you're not losing a ton before then. So that's what I'm thinking from TerrOr. We should see a move out of about 4 or 5 medics, 20-ish Marines, +1, and range. All right, Hydralis Den is out. He's going for very, very quick lurkers. This is pretty normal from Sziky. He likes to get his lurkers out just after 8 minutes. He keeps a smaller Mutalisk count. So TerrOr might miss his timing here. Notice how Hydras are already being hatched. TerrOr actually needs to go across the map right now. This is one of the big things I learned when I played Sziky in a show match. I went back and looked at the replays and realized he's one of these very fast lurker guys. So if you want to pressure him, you have to move out almost immediately. But he has good Mutalisk micro, which makes it hard. So 5 medics, 12 Marines there. And yeah, he's got another good group there of 9. But he's missing... The move-out timing is now done, right? So we're about to have 2 lurkers plus Sunken, and then 4 lurkers here. So the +1 Marine Medic really hasn't done anything here, honestly. Not that it's the end of the world. Like, you don't necessarily have to get damage with this build. It's a good macro build either way. But you do want to put pressure on, and it doesn't feel like he actually put any pressure on this particular game. But he is getting his science or his starports up very quickly, which is nice. Now, we don't have the second gas, which is making me really scared that he might go Valkyrie. Like, Valkyrie, obviously... Okay, there he is getting the second gas now. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, that's painful. TerrOr just lost a huge amount of units there. You see the supply goes hugely into Zyky's, into Zyky's favor. Turret's here, not fantastic, and he's got lurkers everywhere, so he can actually dive at this point. This is not a good thing for TerrOr. Oh boy. Okay. The turrets go down, and he's starting to kill quite a few SCVs. Honestly, he's got enough mutas here to kill these Marines as well if he wants to. Decides to turn around, lucky for TerrOr. TerrOr's defense completely inadequate in his main base right now. This forward group not doing too much. Hive almost done here for Zyky. Everything looking ridiculous for a Zerg player. Like, he is really far ahead right now. Oh, I like this. Okay, so here's the thing. TerrOr is a very good player. He's very smart. And he's looking at this game, and he knows he's behind. He knows everything's gone wrong. He's lost a bunch of Marines to the Lurkers. He lost a bunch of SCVs and mining time. He has no map control. Everything looks and feels bad. Oh, God. He finds the dropships. Okay, well, you know what? He kills a lot of mutas on their way out. And notice how Zyky's actually remaking mutas, because you want to have mutas against dropships, especially when they skip to radiate. Okay, so what I was going to say, here's a good way for you guys to think about dropship versus vessel. Vessels are very steady damage, right? Like, they very steadily give the reward of raiding one unit every minute and a half. Dropships give you more of an asymmetric reward. Like, sometimes they don't do anything and they actually get you behind, then other times they kill way more than a vessel ever could. So they're a more risky play, but they could do much more damage. Oh, God. It's so brutal, man. Sziky is so strong. So, you know, TerrOr is trying to take these risks. He's trying to make something happen, and, like, nothing good is happening for him right now. All right, he's got a radiate on the way. He's got a couple vessels out. Is, you know, 41 workers. Look at this double lurker. Oh, my God. Zyky just looking so solid. He's got his Scourge around, looking for more dropships coming in. Adrenal on the way. Ultraless Cavern. Defiler coming out. Second eBay coming up. Okay. So, at least we can get 2-2 going. 4 vessels. These are some reasonable things for TerrOr. And, you know, if you produce a hell of a lot of units off your 2 base, like, I think if he were to make a command center, that would be the worst case scenario here for TerrOr. Because I think you need to, like, put the pedal to the metal, balls to the wall, and, like, just go crazy on your opponent right now. But he does throw it on the command center. Thing is, I feel like if you put every ounce of everything you have into attacking, it probably still won't be enough, but maybe that gives you a better chance. Whereas this, it's now, we're like 3 minutes out from this paying for itself. Like, is he going to be in a better position 3 minutes than right now? I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, that one actually burrows outside of the Darkstorm. Darkstorm is funny. It's like the front edges of it aren't there, but the back edges are actually further. It's a weird thing. I can't really explain it. I'm sure there's a picture of it somewhere where you can actually hit things. But anyways, 3 stacked lurkers here, the Spore and the Sunken. Not very breakable. That 4th base is up. The Muta's on anti-drop duty along with 2 lurkers. Ultralists being researched with their chitinous plating and melee attack. Plague is done now. This is a tough game right now for TerrOr. He's producing really nicely. Like he's hitting his macro. He's spending his money. Third base is up. He's going to want to add a bunch of barracks from here. But now the plagues are starting. Another plague goes down on that vessel. And this is where you just start to grind Terran down, right? Just start grinding them. Plagues and Dark Storms over and over and over while you get your Ultralisk fleet ready. Those Ultralisk upgrades still coming forward. TerrOr is still rotating through the map. Actually sends his very badly hurt Marines home. Yeah, removing these turrets as well. Always a smart move. Once that Meatless threat is done, it's good to get rid of your static D and replace it with buildings that produce. Additional spore going up. Maybe he's thinking there could be battle cruisers coming in. Yeah, in fact, there are going to be eventually. The physics lab is up here for TerrOr. Little Defiler army coming up. Goes down his Dark Swarm. And the Ling's actually just killing off quite a few of the Marines. This is not a very impactful move from Sziky. I'm actually almost a little surprised he did it. Like, I guess if nothing's there, maybe you can throw a Dark Storm down here or something like that, but I think a player of TerrOr's caliber generally will have something there. Right, more rotating coming out. Double spore now. Just trying to zone out vessels from irradiating his high-value units. Ooh, another vessel falls. TerrOr not making much headway. Like, he's keeping his supply reasonable. But Sziky, right, it hasn't felt like he's in danger even one time. Even for a moment. I think that's part of the big problem here. +3 attack does get started, which is incredibly important. Yeah, 4 KR pace for Ultras, so TerrOr has kept up with the upgrades enough. That's important. Vessels flying in. Let's see what he can get irradiated here. Radiating what he can. But losing some vessels here. Eats a plague. Oh, some more vessels fall. Oh, man. Highly annoying here. Finds a way to run around with lurkers. Dark Swarms at third base. So that third base really not paying itself off, honestly. Well, I guess technically mineral count it has. Just barely. Still. A bunker coming up. Not what I was expecting. Normally you don't see a bunker made in front of your opponent's third base at 16 minutes, but TerrOr just trying to figure out anything that can start to help him to come back here. All right, some irradiates will help him to clear this out, but Sziky now, like, the map control is not really there. Oh, God, his medics are all standing so far away from his army. Oof. That's too bad. With the medics there, he would have just really wrecked this. Really wrecked it. Okay, well, at least he shreds some Scourge there. Oh, actually, this could get attacked now. There's no lurkers remaining. Battlecruiser flying in. Oh, rough. Dies immediately to those Scourge. Little Ultralisk counterattack coming down. We'll kill that off. Unfortunately, you know, the supplies are very close to even right now. Which is always, again, good for Zerg. The Marines getting caught under this Dark Swarm. Another plague goes down on those vessels. Should have enough here to kill these off. But again, no progress being made right now from TerrOr. It is a big, big problem for him. The Ultra is starting to really flow out now. You can see the production tab just switch over to basically purely Ultralisk and Zergling, as well as their upgrades. At this point, Sziky's economy is so big that he really can just make the absolute best units available. Now, TerrOr still has a decent amount of bio here. It's got those 8 racks producing. Loading up a dropship. We'll see what he can get done with it. Oh, we have another one actually coming up here. Dropships become much weaker once Ultralisks are out because Ultralisks will just clean them up with a simple attack move. Sometimes you can do things like drop by in minerals, though, which Ultralisks do have a hard time cleaning up. So goes ahead, drops here at the natural. We'll kill a drone. One drone definitely not going to be enough for that, unfortunately. These Ultras going to be cleaned up. Sziky being like maybe a little bit wasteful right now. But just keeping TerrOr busy is enough. Oh. Nothing really working out here. Yeah, TerrOr at this point, you know, he's got this one mining location with 6 mineral patches, which is not super hot. Oof. Adding more barracks. Okay, he does land a command center here to try to get some more mining going. But unfortunately for him, Overlords see him. And like 5 units will run up here and kill this base easily. Ultras in the meantime hitting that 3rd base. Yeah, and well, this game doesn't seem like it's going to be too much longer, guys. TerrOr having a very rough series. Well, has to lift that off. The Dark Storm being so annoying. And yeah, I mean, at this point, Sziky just has to kind of bring things together, I think. Like, mass up his Ultras one time well. And that should be just about that. But right now, he's still doing, like, a lot of scuffling rather than trying to get that kill move. An additional 2 bases coming up. Maybe this is the right way to play as Sziky, to just make sure that you close it out correctly. Because if you were to bring all of your value units together, if somehow TerrOr beat those, would he have a shot there? Maybe. All right, more and more Ultras coming out now. Tons of Lings as well. The mining's so much better for Sziky. Look at this. Look at how many patches he has right now. It's absolutely crazy. And this is what I'm kind of talking about, where it's like these little like attacks that kind of buy some time. I feel like if Sziky would just stop doing these small attacks, build everything up together, and then bring it, it's hard to imagine these armies of TerrOr beating them. All right, Ultras under Dark Swarm going to easily kill this off. And yeah, like, I guess he actually can kill this as well. Oh, the sickest plague right there. But he will force this all back. He will maintain this base. TerrOr maintaining a reasonably high supply at 140. Another tiny attack from Sziky coming in. Yeah, the +0 range attack here of Lurker not doing so well. Not quite able to shred those Marines like it does in the early game. The medics all just kind of going crazy here. Time to send 4 more Ultras across the map. All right. It looks like he's just going to drone up this base, right? He's already droned up this one. Maybe bring all of your units together once and then go. All right, here we go. Crackling's leading the charge. Ultra's coming up behind. And yeah. Well, this is super cute. Okay. A lot of D-Matrix going down. We don't have any Defilers here. So without Defilers, this is actually pretty scary, the amount of D-Matrix Marines in here. Now, if there was one Defiler, this wouldn't do anything. And there it is. Doesn't matter how many D-Matrixes you got. Alright, Plague goes down. Meantime, still bad things happening at TerrOr's main base. Hard time keeping anything going over there. More Dark Swarms. TerrOr having to turn around. And GG is called. Okay. And that does it. That does it. That was our first group. A little bit one-sided. A lot of bit one-sided. Sziky not dropping a game. Take a look at the final score. Sziky goes on to the finals, like, overwhelmingly. Ooh. Okay. And so that was Ascension Day 1. We have 3 more days remaining. Thank you for watching that.